A very good o'clock, dear students. Here I am Nikita ma'am, your geography teacher. Students, today we are going to discuss about our left out topics, that is human adaptation in the equatorial climatic region. Okay, that was left out. Now let us see what are the kind of people, or what are the habits of the people who are adapted or who are living in the equatorial region. Okay, so that is, these are sparsely populated. First of all, these regions are not very densely populated. These regions are sparsely populated. Okay, next is the forests are very dense, wet and swampy. So it's very difficult to construct the transportation facilities. Okay, transportation facilities cannot be easily constructed, as it is difficult to construct it because there are dense forest. Okay, next is adverse climatic conditions. So adverse climatic conditions means that high humidity and heavy rainfall is always there. High humidity and heavy rainfall, which is responsible for low density of population. Then the primitive tribal population have survived as they had adapted to the harsh environment, right? People who are living there are of primitive tribal communities who have adapted their habits according to the environment. Okay, now people practice shifting cultivation. Already know what is shifting cultivation, and they also practice primitive hunting. Okay, shifting cultivation means clearing a land for cultivation by burning it, then clearing it. Okay, first of all cutting the trees, then burning the land. Okay, then mixing the ashes into the soil, and then cultivating that land. Okay, when that land loses its fertility, the people move to another land. This is known as shifting cultivation. And primitive hunting means killing the animal by primitive methods. Land is cleared for cultivation and resettlement, as I told you, and deforestation is a major environmental concern. Deforestation in the tribal communities is a major environmental concern. How they do deforestation? Basically, they clear land for settlement, they clear land for cultivation, they clear their land for other purposes too, and that's why there is a major deforestation problem in these areas. Okay, now let us see some other adaptation habits. People have cleared a vast areas of forest to grow, to grow plantation crops. They mainly grow plantation crops. And what are these crops? These crops are tapioca. Tapioca is like coffee. It's a local food of Africa. Then bananas and maize. Okay, and then in parts of Malaysia, Sumatra, Central Java, Central America, and West Africa, plantation agriculture was promoted by colonists. Earlier, when the British companies came here, they used to employ these tribal communities as slaves. Okay, in the plantation of different crops. So that happened today also. Now, some crops are cocoa, rubber, banana, pineapple, sugarcane, coffee, tea. These are some plantation crops that are grown on large scale. Okay, the name of some tribes are Pygmy of Congo, Bodo of Amazon Basin, Sakai, Semang of Malaya, Malaysia, Papuan of New Guinea, and other important tribes are there. Okay, most of the tribes are nomadic and food gatherers. It means that they keep on moving from one place to another place in search of food. And pygmies of Congo live in small groups in the Congo basin. They hunt with bows and poison arrows. Okay, and their food is mainly supplied by trees, plants, nuts, birds, fishing, etc. Due to warm, humid, and damp climate, they do not wear clothes or wear a very little clothes. Bodo tribe of Amazon live in large groups and do not live in scattered herds and occupy a large single house. Okay, so the Bodo tribe of Amazon lives in large houses. Okay, Savannah. Now let us talk about another type of climatic region, that is savanna. Okay, savanna or tropical grassland that lies above the equatorial climatic region. So it's basically a tropical or subtropical temperate woodland ecosystem. Okay, tropical or subtropical temperate woodland ecosystem. Okay, and it's characterized by the trees being sufficiently small or widely spaced so that the canopy does not close. Okay, means the trees here are not very high grown that the canopy is blocked. The trees are sufficiently small, and also they have space between them, means that dense vegetation is not here. Okay, so they lie roughly between the latitudinal extent being 7 degree north to 20 degree north, okay, and south of the equator. The location of savanna occur in the transitional zone between equatorial forest region, and the tropical desert. Okay, it means that it's a turning point, it's a mixture, it's a turning point between the extreme equatorial region and the extreme tropical desert region. Okay, it is a uh, it is a space between these two regions, and the climate has its own special features which are best exemplified by the name Sudan climate. Okay, the climate of this place is also known as Sudan climate. Now let us see what are the transitional qualities of this climate. These are emphasized by transitional, means that keep on changing. Okay, so basically there is no defined climate of this place, it keeps on changing time to time, and it's emphasized by hot summers, cool and dry winters, and moderate annual rainfall. Okay, rainfall is not even very high. Temperature, annual range of temperature increases with the distance from equator. Okay, annual range increases with the distance from equator, and it varies from 5 degree to 15 degree Celsius, but the diurnal temperature range is very high. This is because large variation in day and night temperature. It means the temperature of day and night here, day remains hot and night remains cool. Okay, that's why the diurnal range of temperature becomes very high. Next, basically savanna, the definition is a rolling grassland scattered with shrubs and isolated trees which can be found between a tropical rainforest and a desert biome. Okay, can you see here? It's basically a grassland with the shrubs and small trees, isolated trees. Okay, and it lies between tropical rainforest and desert biome. Okay, not enough rainfall falls on a savanna to support forest, so these are known as tropical grassland because there are not enough forests because of lack of rainfall, and they are found with wide band on either side of equator on the edges of tropical rainforest. Basically on the edges of tropical rainforest they are found. The rainfall here in the margins of equatorial region, since it lies between the equatorial and the desert region, so the part which lies towards the equatorial edge, okay, towards the equatorial edge has the highest rainfall, whereas towards the tropical desert, the edge which is towards tropical desert has very low rainfall, that is 125 to 25 centimeter. Okay, most of the rainfall is received during summer. Orographic rainfall is caused where the mountain obstruction exists. Okay, mainly rainfall occurs in the summer season, and orographic rainfall also occurs, that is when it is obstructed by a mountain. Okay, next, savanna are always found in warm or hot climate. They are mainly found in warm or hot climate where the annual rainfall is from 50 to 127 centimeter per year. Next is soil and vegetation. The soil of savanna is porous. The soil is porous with the rapid drainage of water. Porous means it has many pores in it. Okay, means the loose binding is there. Okay, the soil is not very thick. Okay, there's loose binding. It's porous. It easily absorbs the water. Okay, drains the water. It has only a thin layer of humus. A very less humus is there. The organic portion of the soil, which provide vegetation with the nutrients. Savannas are sometimes classified as forest. The predominant vegetation consists of grasses and forbs. Okay, soil and vegetation में soil, we discussed that it has a porous soil which easily absorbs water with a very less humus. Okay, and vegetation sometimes it's called forest, but it's actually not. The predominant vegetation is grasses and forbs. Okay, next. So broadleaf plants grow here with the grasses. Seasonal rain allows grass to grow. Rainfall is not sufficient to support tall trees. Okay, there are no tall trees because rainfall is very less. Trees grow only along the banks of streams. Okay, if there are trees, then they grow only along the bank of rivers, and they are of broad leaved variety, are often flat topped or umbrella shaped. Okay, the trees are often flat tops. See, you can see the type of the trees. It's umbrella shaped. Okay, it has broad leaves, and it enables them to withstand the strong, steadily blowing trade winds. Okay, since the grasslands are open areas, the effect of wind and the pressure of wind felt uh, is very strong. Okay, so this shape helps them tackle the speed of the wind. Okay, most of the trees are drought resistant, means they do not shed their leaves very easily, but they shed their leaves in the cool dry season. Okay, most of them are drought resistant, means that they do not dry up when there is drought. What about animals? The tropical grassland is home to several species of large grazing herbivores, okay, like and carnivores, cats, and other meat-eating creatures. So, this is the food web of Savannah, and these are found towards the continents and countries. And animals are mentioned in Africa. We can find African elephant, African wildcat, antelope, cheetah, giraffe, hippopotamus. Australia will find kangaroo, that is only found there. Wallaby, pigeon, dove, parrot, etc. South America we can find mainly rodents like rhea and deer. Okay, and then India, Asiatic water buffalo, Asian elephant, Indian rhinoceros, Indian wolf tiger, Myanmar and Thailand, Asian elephant, Asiatic water buffalo, pygmy hog, and tiger. Okay, all these are animals found here. Now about the human response, how the human live here. The tropical grassland is not favorable for human settlement, so it's one of the sparsely populated. Okay, it's very less populated region, and the average density of population is less than 20 persons per square kilometer. The density of population average is very less. Regions of tropical grassland of South America, Brazilian plateau, and in West Africa, Nigeria, have higher density than the average. Okay, it means that some regions are densely populated here as compared to the other. Savannah provide a rich ecosystem with herbivores and carnivores. Okay, there are large variety of animals in these grasslands. Hunting, fishing are the main occupation of the people, supply their basic needs of food, clothes, and shelter. Hunting carried out in a primitive manner with bows, arrows, spears, occasional blowguns. Okay, means modern methods of killing are not used, only traditional methods are being practiced. Some of the native people are pastoral nomads. Okay, the natives people means that the people who live there are nomads, means those who keep on moving from one place to another. They keep domestic animal and lead a nomadic life. Okay, they do not stay at a place, they keep on moving with their animals from one place to another. Okay, next, Dorobo and Kikuyu or Kenya, Maasai of Africa are prominent pastoral groups. Okay, they graze cattle and goats for milk and meat. They have a group of cattle, and the life of Maasai was affected by spread of European settlers during 19th century. Europeans have affected the tribal life significantly. Okay, they took and fenced land for their use. They use traditional way of Due to this traditional way of life for the native people has changed forever. European drove the original inhabitants off their land, and although the local Africans were using the pastures, but there were always a balance between people, animal, and land. Okay, it means that when Europeans came to these lands, uh, they unsettled the nomadic tribe, they unsettled the native people of that place. Okay, they threw them out of their land and used them for their own purpose. Due to this pastoralism, the people started disappearing. Large areas of savanna in South America and Australia developed pastoral industries. Pastoral means pasture is a place, it's a grassland where the animals are grazing. Okay, the place for grazing of animal. Large areas of savanna have developed pastoral industries on a commercial scale. Now people have been selling the products that they get from the animals. Most of native people have cleared trees and grass in the region in order to develop agriculture. Agriculture is also developing. Commercial agriculture is introduced in the Europeans in some regions, which were colonized by them in past, which is being practiced. European encouraged producing crops on a large scale for export purpose, and like cotton in Sudan, tobacco in Zimbabwe, coffee in Brazil, Colombia and Kenya, groundnut in West Africa. Okay, these were some crops that were promoted by the Britishers. Large plantations were owned by European settlers in the past, but now small holdings play important role in the economy of the country, as the main output is small holdings. Okay, so this was all about these two climatic region, that is the equatorial climatic region and the savanna grassland. Okay, let me know if you have any doubts. Thank you.